This is TradeFlow News, bringing you relevant news and insights from around the world. TradeFlow News, enabling trade for SMEs and economies worldwide.
These are some of the key topics that we will be looking into in today's program.
First, let's take a look at the overnight headlines which are impacting the commodity markets.
Oil prices pulled back from three-month highs on Wednesday as industry data showed a build in U.S. crude inventories and investors remained cautious ahead of an expected Federal Reserve rate hike later in the day. Brent crude futures slipped 38 cents, or 0.45%, to $83.26 a barrel by 0623 GMT, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude was at $79.22, down 41 cents, or 0.51%. U.S. crude stocks rose by about 1.32 million barrels in the week ended July 21, according to market sources citing American Petroleum Institute figures on Tuesday. Analysts polled by Reuters had expected a 2.3 million barrel drawdown.
Shell and Chevron's agreements to sell stakes in major Indonesian gas projects to Pertamina, Petronas and Eni will unleash development at the fields, enabling the country to boost its flagging output, the buyers said. Indonesia has seen declining oil and gas production in recent years due to depleting reserves, and as major new projects face delays due to oil majors' exits. After signing a deal on Tuesday to buy a 20% stake in the Masela gas block from Shell, Nika Widiawati, CEO of Indonesian state energy firm Pertamina, told reporters at the Indonesia Petroleum Association conference that a final investment decision on the project would be made in 2026.
Moving on to the top news in the energy sector.
U.S. oil and gas deals rebounded in the second quarter as private equity firms shed shale portfolio investments and publicly traded oil firms grabbed smaller rivals. U.S. oil exploration and production deals last quarter soared to $24 billion, nearly 3 times that of the first quarter, energy analytics firm Enverus disclosed on Tuesday. There were 20 deals with an average value of $1.8 billion as a stable U.S. oil price outlook has encouraged private equity buyers to exit properties. Oil futures are trading between $74 and $77 per barrel through April 2024.
India's crude oil imports fell to a 7-month low in June, with shipments into the world's third biggest oil importer dropping in line with lower consumption due to monsoon rains and refineries undergoing maintenance. Crude imports dropped 6% month-on-month in June to 19.18 million metric tons. Data from the website of the Petroleum Planning and Analysis Cell, PPAC, showed on Tuesday. Meanwhile, oil products imports rose 14% to 3.61 million metric tons from June last year. Next, we have the top news in metal markets. London copper prices eased on Wednesday amid cautious trading ahead of the U.S. Federal Reserve's policy decision due later in the day, while a skeptical outlook over China's demand outlook also placed some pressure on metal prices. 3-month copper on the London Metal Exchange was down 1% at $8,586 per metric ton as of 0720, reversing gains made in the previous session. Most market participants expect the Fed to deliver a 25 basis point rate hike and will be closely looking for any clues on the future rate path.
Gold rose while keeping to a narrow range on Wednesday as traders refrained from making big bets ahead of the U.S. Federal Reserve's policy decision later in the day. Spot gold was up 0.3% to $1,969.51 per ounce by 0747 GMT, while U.S. gold futures gained 0.4% to $1,971. Broader markets are looking for an extended rate pause through the rest of the year, while Fed officials could push back by leaving the door open for one more hike in September or November, said Yeep Jun Rong, a market strategist at IG.
We will now look at the top news in the agricultural sector.
Global rice importers are likely to seek direct deals with governments in exporting countries as India's ban on shipments of a key variety is squeezing supplies and igniting concerns over food security. Buyers from Africa to Asia are likely to scramble for rice shipments as supplies tighten in coming months following India's decision last week to ban non-basmati white rice exports. The ban will cut availability of the staple on world markets by about a fifth, traders and analysts said, and could lead to importers seeking more government-to-government deals to overcome shortages and tame spiraling prices. That is all for today's news on commodity markets. Stay tuned to TradeFlow News as we continue to provide you with more updates. We also invite you to follow us on Twitter at TradeFlow News, which allows you to watch our program on your mobile device or desktop to receive information from there.